Happy video day, guys. So today's video, we're going to be talking about makeup that I took a little gamble on. Basically, I really wanted to purchase some of these items. Like, I really liked the way that they looked, but I decided I'm not going to buy it. Maybe there's something about it that might not be for me. So these are a bunch of different products that I literally almost purchased, and I basically convinced myself out of buying them. And I want to know, was the gamble worth it? Was it worth not buying these items? No, last minute. I'm not gonna do it. So was the gamble worth it? So if you guys are new here, my name is Christina Brooke and this is the Glam Ranch. I would love it if you'd hit the subscribe button and you can be part of the Glam Ranch family. What we do is talk about makeup. So if you guys like makeup, you're probably gonna like the channel. So let's go ahead and let's get through all of this makeup and let's see if there's any items that I lucked out on or if there was some that I kind of regret not buying. Actually a few items on this list, and when I was looking through it I was like, well, damn, Christina. I have to admit that there was a little bit more items on this list than I thought there was going to be, and I think what it is that they keep releasing more and more eyeshadow palettes and new makeup releases, and it's like every time I think I'm gonna buy you, something else comes out that I'm like, no, I'm gonna buy you instead. And I guess since they have so many things coming out, what are you gonna buy, what are you not gonna buy? And basically I have come up with a list of stuff that I ended up not buying. I took a gamble on these items thinking that they weren't gonna work for me. So let's go ahead and see what people have been saying about these items and see if it was worth it. Let's go ahead. Okay, so the first palette that we're going to talk about is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. So this palette I took a huge gamble on because everybody hyped this palette up so much. Everybody was so excited about this palette. I heard so much about it when it was going to release. Everybody was like, this one is that neutral, beautiful palette from Anastasia. It has the black in it. And when I first saw it, I said, well, it kind of looks a little boring for me. This one in particular has actually gotten really good reviews. So it kind of like, I don't know, I still feel like I made the right decision not picking this palette up, even though I still was considering buying it, only because I feel like it is a little bit similar to some of the other Anastasia palettes, and I don't know, it's just, I don't know. But I have to say, like, it's not like I see people saying like, this is my go-to palette, I love this palette. Yes, I've only heard a handful of people or less say that this is like a go-to palette. I do think the quality of this palette is really good, and I don't think anybody has anything to say with the quality or anything like that. So for me, I think that I made a good decision not picking up this palette, and I'll show you why. Because there is another palette on this list that I still haven't picked up, and I am starting to regret it, and I'm having a feeling that my gamble was wrong on this one. The palette that I'm talking about is another one from Anastasia, and that is the Soft Glam. So this palette released, I think it was in the summer, I don't know, it feels like it was like a week ago. This palette released not that long ago, and I honestly was like, no, I'm not buying this palette, it's too neutral, no. But I have heard so many people say that this is their go-to palette and that they love it so much. And I feel like I kind of made a mistake on this one. I feel like this one was a regret. I don't think I won the gamble on this one because I feel like a lot of people have given this palette good reviews, but besides the fact that it's gotten good reviews, I've seen a lot of people say this is like a go-to palette for them. Months later, I feel like the Soft Glam has gotten so much praise and people really liked it. Kind of regret not buying that one, to be honest. I think that that one was a missed opportunity for me. I think that I still have that one on my list more than even the Sultry palette now, because I just feel like down the line, people have really liked the Soft Glam. So let's talk about a palette that I think I won the gamble on this one. This is the Mini Star from Natasha Denona. Now, when I first saw the palette, I thought, ooh, the Star palette is one of my favorite Natasha Denona palettes that I don't own. I really thought it was so beautiful. I really wanted that palette. And I decided not to purchase the Mini Star at the end of the day, just because when I was looking at it, I was like, I'm not 100% sure about the colors that they put in it. It's pretty, but I don't know if it's pretty enough, because even though it's $25, you guys have got to realize this palette is teeny. It's a small $25 palette. So being inexpensive for Natasha Denona, it's still a lot of money for a mini palette because it's so small. So I kind of was like, well, I'm not going to buy this palette. And I honestly think that in this one, I did the right thing, because I feel like this palette has not gotten the best reviews. I feel like people have been a little bit let down by this palette. So I do feel like I made a good decision not picking this one up. So I'm actually happy that I didn't pick this one up. And actually, there's a few Natasha Denona palettes in this video, because Well, let's admit it. Natasha Denona keeps coming out with palettes. So I'm going to talk about another one from Natasha Denona since we are on Natasha Denona. Let's talk about the Safari palette. So this is actually a palette that I had on my list, but I had it on my list like, I am going to buy this. I cannot wait. This is going to be my first Natasha Denona palette. And I would have to admit that this palette has not gotten the praise that I thought it was going to get. It's been a very mixed review. Some people really like it. Some people don't like it. It's kind of up and down. Now, when I saw this palette, the reason that I kind of second guessed it and I said, well, maybe I won't pick it up is because of the fact that I looked at the colors, and if you mix some of the colors in this palette together, I can see that they're not going to work really good together. Like, it's almost like you need to really know about how to mix colors together to make this palette really work. And if you don't really have that eye for mixing colors, you can mix two of these colors together and they'll look terrible together. Like, they'll probably look horrible. So at the end of the day, I decided I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale. I never said I wasn't gonna get it. I think I'm gonna still wait for it to go on sale because there's something about this palette that still really intrigues me. I think I won out on this one not purchasing it at full price because I don't think it was like, I don't know, it wasn't like the star that I thought it was going to be. Even though I still think that it will work for me, I think I'm still gonna wait for this one to go on sale because some of her, like, these type of palettes do go on sale, so FYI. So this one here is from NARS. This one is called the Orgasm Infatuation Palette. I was looking at this one because the NARS had come out with this cheek palette. I think it was called the Thirst palette or Thirst, something like that. And they came out with it and I thought it was so beautiful. But then I saw this one and I was like, ooh, that is cool. It has the blush, it has a highlight, it has a bronzer. I like those like mini palettes that have like all of them together. So I was very interested in this one, but I ended up deciding not to buy it. And it wasn't because I knew the colors in it, which we're gonna get to. It was more because I just said, I wanna buy the Ofra one instead, which Ofra, you guys know, I just did a review on the Toasted Cashmere one. I ended up wanting that one more because I really wanted to try the Ofra highlighters. And then it just came with a bronzer and a blush, and I said, why not? Looks cute. So I ended up going for that one, even though this one had maybe a cooler looking packaging and, you know, people have talked about it a little bit more, but I decided not to go with this one. Now, I'm actually happy I didn't, and I think I won out on this gamble as well because I didn't realize that the bronzer in here is the Laguna bronzer. Now, if you guys have followed my channel, you know that I look horrible in the Laguna bronzer. I don't know if it's the undertone. I know this is a very popular bronzer, and I know a lot of you guys probably like this bronzer, but on me, that bronzer doesn't look good. It looks weird, like it just doesn't give me a good color. It's strange. So I didn't know that this was the bronzer. I just decluttered that bronzer and I'm like, can you imagine if I would have bought in this palette and got the bronzer back? And literally that's what you use the most. But you have to have a good bronzer. Okay guys, so let's talk about another eyeshadow palette. There's so many eyeshadow palettes just because I feel like they have released so many eyeshadow palettes lately. Like, this is the Naked Cherry eyeshadow palette. So I have to admit, at first when I started seeing reviews on this one, because I do think people actually really like this palette, I started regretting it. I was like, damn, maybe I should have gotten that palette because it has a bunch of cool colors that I don't really think that I have in my collection. Like a lot of like the rosy kind of pinky colors. So the new nudes from Huda Beauty is going to be coming out now. And I feel like I have seen a lot of previews of that palette. And hopefully by the time you see this video, I've already bought the palette. But I've seen so many different reviews about this palette. I feel like the Huda Beauty palette is going to be performing more to the like pinkies than I expected. And if I would have had this palette, I feel like I would have gotten two very pinky mauve looking palettes and there would have been no point. So I'm happy that I didn't pick this one up. I think I won the gamble on not getting this one because I definitely want that Huda Beauty one. So I think I lucked out on this. Now, people have really liked this palette though. So this is one I regret not buying. This is the Born to Run concealer. So I said I'm not buying this concealer because I have the Born to Run original concealer from Too Faced and I didn't like it. Like, I hated that concealer so much. So I said, well, why am I gonna buy like their reformulated different one because I don't even like the other one. Well, everybody says that this is like the best concealer and yeah, I didn't buy it. So in a way, I do kind of regret not purchasing this one because I do feel like a lot of people like it and yeah. I didn't buy it. So this is another palette from Natasha Denona. This one here is called the Cranberry palette. It is one of their minis. And this is one of the palettes that I decided not to purchase because I don't know. I think it was just Natasha Denona has come out with too many things, and I really wanted to buy the gold palette, so I decided not to get this one. And I am happy that I didn't buy this one a lot. I'm like really happy because I feel like people have not come out with the best reviews on this palette. I feel like it's been very scattered. I don't think I've seen one that people are like, this is amazing. It's been kind of like, yeah, there's a few good colors. Not everything is great. So I personally think I kind of lucked out on not purchasing this one because it would have been another $25 for another mauve-y pinky tone palette as well. It probably would have been a waste for me. So I'm happy I didn't get this one. So I think I lucked out on this one too. It is from Pat McGrath and it's the Mothership Subversive Metamorphosis eyeshadow palette. Try saying that 5 times. So that palette is $55 and I actually was thinking of buying this one. I liked the colors of this palette, but all of these are like shimmery kind of colors, and I really don't think, like for this palette specific, I think the shimmery kind of colors that are in here are not the type of colors that I would want in a shimmery type of color type of palette. If I were to get a palette that's all shimmery colors, it would not be these colors. It would be a different color. I do like these colors, but if there was mattes in here, I think it would have been a really cool palette. So I'm actually happy, and I think I lucked out on not buying this one. I do think that it got pretty good reviews, so I don't think it had anything to do with the reviews. But I think for what it was, I'm happy I didn't get it. So that is all of the items that I am happy that I didn't buy, and then some of them that I'm like, damn, I don't think I lucked out. So how do you guys think I did with this makeup gamble? Did I do okay? I honestly think on some of these items I did pretty good by holding off on not buying them, and then on like a few of them I'm like, I'm still thinking, should I still buy you? But I'm like, I don't know, maybe not anymore. If you guys like this video, don't forget, give me your thumbs up, give me your comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.